about to begin. So, without further ado, Na'Vi versus Red Rush Unity, game number 1. Wow, no time for intros.
No, nothing. So, yeah, goes through the lineup for Red Rush. We got Artishny, Anatolic in the 5100, Diodor, Lucifer in the I3, Rhino in the 3090, and 2T1s, Balkan and Kapi.
And for Na'Vi, we have the 3 5100s, 1 IS3, and 1 1390. Strike in the 1390, Killer Inspire, and Power Slide in those 5100s, and Left Shot in the IS3. Now, hold on a second. There we go.
Yeah,
Everything's working now on the stream. Okay.
Yeah, without any time into the battle. While the teams are relocating all through the city, we can talk maybe a short about the history. Unity never ever beaten Na'Vi in an official game in the Golden League. In the season 1, 3-0, season 2, 3-2, and then in the actual season 3-1. 3 times offline, 3 times victory for Na'Vi. Red Rush Unity managed to get at least one single round in all these 3 offline games. So it will be really interesting how they perform today.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here, we've seen that Unity, although last time we saw them on this map just camped in the bottom left-hand corner, are all in the bottom left-hand corner but not necessarily camping. No. As you can see, they've got 1 scout here. The rest of their forces are here unspotted so far. Na'Vi have noticed this and come back. What I want to know, though, what is going on with Na'Vi's lineup? 1 IS3, is that really viable here?
No, I think you should at least use 2 of them. But yeah, they go for the full autoloader firepower with the 3 5100s and the 1390. And yeah, the only reason they can do it is if they play aggressive in the city or just wait that Unity drives into them. But it will be really interesting how they use them.
The luck's been taken down, so the scouting is now limited by Na'Vi. As you can see, their team here is all lined up. And oh my god! Lucic just got completely alpha strike there by all 4 of Na'Vi. He popped around the corner there, as you can see, barely showing anything, and then bang, 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 4 shots, boom.
Yeah, without any hit. I mean, okay, Na'Vi lost the T1 as scout deluxe, but yeah, it was definitely worth it to kill one of the IS3s immediately.
Great move.
Insta-kill.
I'm really surprised why Unity actually sent forth one of those IS3s as a scout instead of one of their T1s. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to mouse trick with him in the corner and try to bait Na'Vi in, but yeah, perfectly hit, and all tanks penetrated the IS3. Absolutely no chance for him to escape or do something. It was just too fast.
Yeah, Na'Vi are clumped together like a pack of ants, and it worked out for them. But I still don't understand how Unity have lost an IS3, but they've not lost a single T1. I don't know. Why did they not send a T1 forward for this?
Yeah, the T1 was forward for the spot, but yeah, immediately after he was in position and spotted the enemy T1, the I3 was driving forward, and I think he wanted to pass a spot or deal damage maybe while mouse tracking to Na'Vi, but yeah,
well, we have seen a game, though, already these last 4 days where some team has been up by 1 tank and lost the fight.
Yeah, but at least they damaged the enemy team, so it will be really tough now for a comeback, especially against Na'Vi. But yeah, Unity looks like they decided to use the same strategy now with only 4 tanks left. They used against A Gaming, where they beat them with 8 hit points left.
Strike, though, being the scout here for Na'Vi, will they do the same thing? Will Red be able to do the same thing against Na'Vi as Strike is creeping to the corner where the smoking hull there of Lucic is? He is dead, and wow.
Yeah, Na'Vi is really moving like a death ball at one point in the map.
They are just moving together. They are not separating. Led by Lashar in his armored IS3, but with all these DPS tanks behind him. We have Power Slide, Killeroid, and Inspirer with an amazing amount of potential damage here. I don't think they've even reloaded. I'm not entirely sure. They might have.
They should be 6.5 minutes into the game. It's more than 1 minute ago, so they are all reloaded, and yeah, even if not 2 shells in a 5100, still enough from 3 of them.
Well, we see some blind shots going out here from Killeroid and Lashar. I'm not entirely sure where they were aiming for there, or even if it was any close.
Lashar did a blind shot, and yeah.
No, it was at least 2 shots.
Yeah, Killeroid is now also in reload and power slide, so Na'Vi will back off. I think.
Yeah, they're all reloading. There you go. The full reload there for Na'Vi.
Yeah. We're going for the full reload before they engage. I think they spotted now, and they know where Unity is, that Unity is camping in the corner. But also they got absolutely no map vision. What's going on in the open. So at least they should send maybe Eclipse a bit forward. But he's the only T1, and if he get killed against 2 T1s, they can do the cap pressure with Unity while they're engaging 5 on 4. So Eclipse can't go for the spot in the open because he has to defend the base really carefully. So
And
maybe the chance for Unity.
12 seconds left there for Power Slide. Inspira 19 seconds. I expect they're going to push in as soon as that's happened. That's why they're telling the time. And there you go, 4 seconds left. They're going to be pushing in now. Na'Vi are moving in. Inspira's got 7 seconds. So once they have reloaded, this is going to be the big push I think we've been waiting for.
Yeah, and looks like, if they're moving forward like that, they will break through it. Yeah, it's the easiest way to break through the defensive is from the north, from the A-line, especially if you go with all
Bulk in those spots. Lashar could be in a bit of trouble here if anyone from Unity was available. Now, we have seen Unity fail this defense before, and that was against ESC. So, I mean, they were lucked out by the timer running out. However, this is Na'Vi with a tank in advantage. So, can they break the camp as well?
Yeah, the question is how they want to engage. I mean, if Leshra is moving a bit more forward, Diodor is able to shoot at him and maybe get the hit point advantage, at least a bit more equal. But I don't see the point how they can really defend that because they are cornered and Na'Vi know where they are.
Shot against Lashard does not connect, hits the rock just in front of him, but Inspira coming around the corner here, pushing up. The shot from Lashard does not connect, and eventually, yes, the shot against him has actually connected there.
Yeah, I think it was Artishny in his 5100 who was waiting for him. But yeah, Anatolic and Artishny are also in this good position here to fend, but I don't see the point how they want to go out of that. The T1 from Unity actually is moving forward. Maybe he will meet Eclipse soon. That will be really interesting because if Eclipse die and Unity can start the cap with 2 T1s maybe soon, Na'Vi's in problem because then they have to send one of the T8s back and then it's a 4-on-4 fight and Unity can come back.
I do see Na'Vi moving in here with identical camo 5100s ready to make a move. They're going to try and catch Diodor out, but they cannot. Diodor's in a good enough position not to be caught out here, but Na'Vi doesn't care. They're going in now. They're going in with full action here. It's Killeroid opens up. He's getting focused down with. They're going to get Artishny down to 6 HP. What a chance to be used, but Killeroid's vulnerable from the rear. Diodor does finish him down. Power Slide's getting attacked now, but they're going to get Antelich just quickly, and Antelich misses that shot. Diodor, though, on reload now against Power Slide, Lashar, and Inspira. He's going to go down pretty quickly as Power Slide, in fact, the other Rhino has actually unloaded already and is on his way.
Reload.
Strike is a bit late in the action here, but it doesn't matter. They were one-up tank anyway. Dada goes down. There is the last hope of Red.
Kapi is also down to 7 hit points. Looks like Eclipse were able to shoot him down to 7 hit points. The second T1 is dead. So it's only Rhino running around on reload. I mean, he got 4 hit points, but yeah, Strike was also on full hit points in the 3090 Power Slide, 800 hit points, 900 for Inspira and Leshar on 300. I think there's no way 1 3090 can beat 4 heavy tanks of Na'Vi or 4 combat tanks of Na'Vi. And they're going for the cap with 3 tanks.
There we go. Na'Vi has decisively won map number 1, and I guess we can use this time to continue the talks from the before the battle. We didn't get to say. So if you have just joined us for the first day, this is the first time you've joined in. This is day number 4 of the offline finals. We've already seen most of the teams get knocked out. The only teams left are Mind, Unity, and Na'Vi. Whoever loses here will face Mind in the loser brackets. This is double elimination. Whoever wins here will go into the finals with an advantage of 1 game. Rhino gets shot by Power Slide. Power Slide dodges the shot and is going for the kill here. He doesn't mind getting hit once for the reset of the cap. He will finish Rhino off, no problems at all. And that is the end of that. 7 HP cap is, it doesn't matter. 6 seconds left on the cap.
Yeah, and that was a straight victory. I mean, amazing how they focused on 1i3 in the beginning. It was just too fast. I just switched the camera angle and then I switched again, bam, he was dead.
I actually caught it on my screen. They were waiting there, and as soon as he was spotted, it was 4 trigger within half a second, and he just blew up. He would have been crippled if his Amarak didn't blow. He still would have been crippled. I don't think the Amarak cord's that much of an issue, but still, even more impressive that the 3rd shot took him out. So there was more shots coming in. So
exactly, the 50 rounds, 3 of them would kill him anyway. So amazing play, and that's Na'Vi how we want to see Na'Vi.
Exactly how we want to see Na'Vi. Somehow they struggled really heavily in the first few games, first few days, but today they seem well rested and they know exactly what they're doing. This is a crowd pleaser because we were very worried about Na'Vi's performance in the first few days. We thought that they were just shaken. They didn't know how to deal with their gaming, and now they're much better. Yeah,
I mean, that's the games that they played also against Not. Fast 3 rounds, victory done next. And yeah, against A-Gaming we saw 4 draws, and in the 5th map, really in the end of the battle, they
Maybe it
managed
really
to
was
win
that
from
A-Game
us.
was the last team to defeat them in an offline finals, and they were just that nervous against the brand name.
Yeah,
whereas
that's
today,
true.
they've never lost against Unity in an offline
Never.
finals. They destroyed them in the Season 2 finals, and so maybe
Power
that's where
slide.
they're going. Power Slide doing the
2700.
damage there. Inspire coming in a bit late, but it doesn't matter. He's still got his full clip off. So I think, no, Inspire was one late? No, Strike late. Yeah, so Strike's not even on the list. He just wasn't needed. They could have done that without him.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely no problem for them. And yeah, I mean, they got now 10 wins in a row on the offline event for the Golden League, victories in a row, and looks like they will continue.
They'll continue that. Well, let's go back to the social media aspects of the event.
Yeah.
We are doing favorite tweeting. So if you tweet us at WG League, no, it's just WG League. Yeah, just W League. All the details are below. So if I say something wrong, just check the details below. and we will retweet and say out on the stream itself anyone that we think is pretty good. Plus, you'll get 1,000 gold in your inbox. But you need to be following us on Twitter to receive that code, because otherwise, it's just the way Twitter works. It's not us begging for followers. We literally cannot send you a code on Twitter if you're not following us. It's just unless we do it publicly, and then someone can steal it.
Yeah, and we also have to announce the winner from yesterday's tweet of the
Yes,
day.
we do. Yesterday's winner of the tweet of the day was Damien Brysak, or NFS 2010 PL, and he sent in an image to recapitulate what happened in our Tog battle. If you missed the Tog battle from yesterday,
the cheetah
here
tank
it
from
is.
Dorjan, yeah.
This is not. It's a superior Tog tank. It's a British tank. It needs to be driven by a British
slightly
person.
modified, yeah.
But you can see that it's slightly modified. It has my special camera that shows MaGGus' position at all times. My very
His
strong
eyes
gun.
on my screenshot.
And my gun is very slunk. My T storage, I have to have double T storage because, I am British. Engine fuel tank is majority of the tank. And OP armor for great side scraping. And it had just superior armor to your tank.
Yeah, it worked perfectly out for you. The slightly modified one.
That's it.
Not really a fair battle, but yeah.
Not fair because I'm British. I'm afraid that you just have superior. Here comes the votes, though, for Unity versus Navi. 73% of you say Navi. Now, that's actually lower than what would have been expected before the event. But
true.
considering the last three's performance, I'm not.
But we also have to give Unity, second place last season, offline, online this time again.
Yeah.
And they win also nearly every game. Only against Navi they got the big problems.
Really, it's always Navi. Have they not lost against anyone else, really?
And no, they lost a few games, but not that many.
Oh, okay. So it's just Navi's their really big opponent
Exactly,
here.
yeah.
Can they do it, though? We're going to find out on Himmelsdorf in map number 2. Unity versus Navi. 1-0 so far to Navi. Give it up for your favorite team as we look at the tanks.
Anatolic and Diodor in the 5100s, 3 IS3s, Atechny, Lucical, Rhino, Balkan and Kapi in the T1s for Unity.
Oh, I never expected to see this. Gunsling is here on Himmelsdorf for the first time so far.
It's wrong.
Or is that wrong?
It's wrong.
It's
two
wrong
IS3s.
again. It's 2 IS3s. This is the second time it's happened.
Yeah,
this is
they
the
trick
second
you.
time.
They troll you all the time with that. Look on your
Okay,
screen.
so really it's Inspire Lashar with the IS3s and 3 5100s. I was going to say, what are they doing? Are they deliberately giving Unity a game? But the answer is no. It was just a mistake with the on-screen. Yeah,
it will be interesting if Navi try again to do a trap like on Ruinberg to just get one tank down or killed directly in the beginning, after going for a full split like they show so far all the time on Himmelsdorf. They split it up very to all sides.
And we have a big split. Oh, wait. Antolic is asking to go back to the hangar, which is...
Power slides AK. So looks like...
I'm just waiting to make sure that this is okay. So yes, the referee has said stop, and then we will go back to the garage. Sorry about that, guys. Obviously some sort of problem on Unity's point of view. But we did get to see this general spread out. Navi was playing defensive. They had gone 3 to the hill, but the other 2 in the defensive formation. So that's exactly what Navi had tried. We should watch the stage to make sure no one goes up and talks to the team that we're not allowed. The referees need to keep a good eye on that. We do know that there have been problems before in offline finals where managers and girlfriends are trying to go up and talk to the teams between stops. And that's a really unfair advantage that should definitely not happen. You see the noise cancellation headphones there on them? That is correct? These are noise? No, they're not.
No, that's not. Also a thing I don't
They're
really
just
understand. Normal headsets, yeah.
And they have no in-ear either?
No.
So they can hear the commentators?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't say any comment about that.
Well, luckily they can't hear us. We're only being broadcast to you. The Russian casters are here live and they are full view. And people right behind us, you can see we're right in the crowd. And people are like, We don't mind. We'll walk in front of this.
Yeah, no problem at all.
No problem at all.
They
But the
don't
crowd
care.
the crowd is really full. As you can see, that there
nearly
are many people
every
here.
seat is filled.
It's I think it's a 500 capacity here.
599.
599.
And it's
Did
500.
you just make
I
that
checked
up?
that.
You checked it. 599.
I count them all.
You can't-
In my free time, I count chairs. No problem.
599. What an interesting number.
Yeah.
And so we'll be going back into game number 2 here of Himmelsdorf. We've seen Navi dominate on the first map, and surprisingly, Runeberg's not a
really
map that you normally
surprisingly.
see such a decisive victory. However,
Especially not through the city.
I still do not understand why they sent an I3 forward. I really do not understand. It seems like a very bizarre thing to do.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to kill the other T1,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Anyway, let's go into map number 2. We have Unity versus Navi. Navi's currently 1 up, and it is on Himmelsdorf. And as we said before, it's a mirror matchup. No, it's a reverse matchup.
Reverse.
3 5100s there for Navi compared to the 2 for Unity. Now, do either team have an actual advantage here for that?
I would say Navi again with the 350-100. They got more burst damage, but Unity, I mean, they play a bit more defensive. So if they make use of the 3 IS3s with a good alpha damage, they got a chance to beat Navi here. But I think they're slightly in favor of Navi with the 350-100. I'm a bit wondering about the non-tactic with the 4 IS3s we saw yesterday from Navi and from Unity, and where we figured out that it's especially a tactic from Unity. Navi copied it. So
that was the 4 IC, but it didn't work
Yeah.
out for them very well. So they've obviously dropped that in favor of the more standard lineup. But as we can see, the spread of all the tanks, we have Unity
Exactly the
pushing
same.
into very standard positions. Luckily, no one's changed their tactics, so it hasn't been spoiled. The heal is going there for Navi, but also defensive formations here,
but check
as we can see.
A4, the position from Navi, immediately going into the base.
Yeah, these two here, Inspire and Power Slide, are looking left. They're expecting a big rush from Unity, and I'm guessing that is why Deluxe is over there in his T1, making sure that no one can go down. He's even blind firing, and that's not actually to hit anybody. That's just to reveal himself and see if his sixth sense gets triggered. That's the only reason he's doing that.
And yeah, Anatolish is going through the hill. The T1 Balkan is in forward spotting position, and I think he will spot the 3 tanks from Navi a bit late because he used a longer way, and Navi is already on the top. At least
they are
Killeroid is
already.
moving.
Killeroid is already aiming. This could be a disastrous start already, but no, Killeroid's moving. He's given up, and they could have just waited 5 more seconds and it would have been fine. But Leshar's at the top now in his IS3. He should be aiming. Max aiming. Will he get the shot off?
Vulcan
No.
spotted Eclipse and Leshar, so you know immediately what's going on. And I think he will
Only Leshar,
run.
not striking Killeroid.
No, but he will run now immediately. Also the 5100, I think he have to leave immediately. But in the meantime, it
No,
looks
they're
like
not. They're moving
Unity
forward
is
because Unity
pushing.
haven't moved. No, they're not pushing.
They're
not
pushing
moving.
on the 1-2 line for sure with 3 tanks.
It's not updating on my screen.
You're just too slow.
My computer's just too slow.
No,
But okay,
it's
let's
you.
see what's happening. Go to your view. You tell what's happening.
Yeah, Unity moving forward with 4 tanks on the 1-2 line. The T1 was moving forward. Also one of the combat tanks. I think Lustiquel gets spotted in his IS3 by Deluxe and Cappy as well, but they can push forward. There's nothing else, only 1 T1. Already the pings going out from Unity in the base. And 2 tanks, I think it's the 5100s from Navi, are relocating as well to the base area.
They are. Killeroid and Strike are on their way back as fast as possible. They will have enough time to get back. And in fact, they're already setting up a defensive formation over their cap circle.
Yeah, but 150-100 is still really aggressive in the G9 area on the hill with the T1 as cover. So if Unity had decided to go out for the hill with 2 or 3 tanks, they could maybe catch the 5100 up on the hill.
But Dulux is destroying the terrain. He's trying to get rid of the wall so that the cover is not there for his opponents as they make a push down the 1 column. I guess Unity were trying to catch out any of the tanks at A1 if Navi had so taken them there.
Exactly. They would spotted him already. But Rhinos going a bit more defensive position up to the hill. So I think they're still afraid that some tanks are on the hill, and Balkan will go for the spot on the hillside any second again to figure out if anything is going on there. And he spotted no passive Eclipse in his T1. But there's no chance to fight Eclipse or for Eclipse to fight Balkan.
That's right. This is a standoff. They're just viewing each other. And I do want to give a shout out to our Korean friends in the audience. I believe Ariti, I can't pronounce their clan name very well. The champions of Korea are actually watching the stream. So hello, guys. Nice to see you supporting the other scenes.
Yeah.
Or doing your research, should I say.
I would say they're doing the research for the grand finals. I mean, they have to face Maybe both of the teams.
Maybe both these teams, unless Unity fall to mind if they lose.
If they lose.
If they lose. Otherwise, if Unity win here in this match, they will take away, go to the grand finals with Na'Vi. Na'Vi will be going regardless, though.
Yeah, exactly. Rhino spotted doing a blind shot up on the hill. Maybe the T1 spotted him, or the 5100. But yeah, at one point I think Red Unity have to move, and Na'Vi is playing it super defensively. Hopefully they don't play because they're in 1-0 in the lead and they just want to camp it out.
Yeah, well, Dulux is actually dodging a lot of shells coming. He's having a nice little firefight with the T1 there, but no one's hit anything yet.
Yeah.
And actually, I want to address the audience that it is an international stream. We do encourage English because that allows everyone to understand what you're saying, but we do not ban native languages. We do know that you guys don't necessarily understand English, or you can hear it but you can't type it, so you can speak in your languages. We don't mind that, but we would obviously prefer that you guys, it's always uncomfortable if you're sat in a restroom and everyone is speaking another language and you don't understand it. You feel very uncomfortable, so try your best to speak English. If you can't, we will not ban you for speaking another language apart from Russian, because go to your Russian stream. You have a dedicated Russian stream, so you can go there. But anyway, let's go back to the game. Lusik is spotted, Dulux is there doing a great job for Na'Vi, but so far no action.
Exactly, and Lusik is doing the reverse mouse trick here with the I3, perfectly angled to absorb a lot of shells that's flying around him. But yeah, it's still up on Unity to move here. They got all 5 combat tanks on the 1-2 line, so I think they will push over and try to kill at least Deluxe, and then they can check out what's going on in the base of Na'Vi, and then they will figure out, okay, there's nothing really on as combat tanks. They're super defensive, so they have to try something. I mean, Unity played, I think it was on the first day against Tau. Yes, they played on the first day against Tau, where they do the cap pressure with an I3 and a T1 from the B6 area, while they're going for the A4 area to cover them. Maybe that would be also an option, but now we got 2 I3s in A4 to block them from doing that.
It does, and I actually have to criticize Na'Vi at this point. They are not being aggressive. They did take the hill and didn't do anything with it, and then they did and then they came back and camped, and so far Unity have made a play, and they are actually given their due. They have been trying to assault. They just one T1 has scared them off.
Yeah, that's really Deluxe. They were not able to kill him, and he spotted them, so Na'Vi had enough time to prepare for everything, and that's why I think Unity didn't push through. And now they were relocating to their own base. Hopefully that will be an 8-line push, because that could be a nice one against Na'Vi, because Na'Vi is going now for the open to do a counter assault maybe, and if Unity
it looks like Na'Vi have
line,
eventually given up and gone, okay, let's actually just engage them. And at the moment we did that, and they do that, Unity have actually ran the other way. So these teams are by accident avoiding each other.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, but still they can fight each other. If Unity decide to push the 8-line now, and yeah, Na'Vi is still on this side, they can go through the cap, and Na'Vi have a really hard time to reset the cap in that case. But 3.5 minutes left on the clock.
But I like this play here by Unity. They are moving down the banana. They have their T1 scouting ahead. They've learnt their lesson. They're not going to send their IS-3 as the scout. And Na'Vi are slowly progressing down the 1-2 line, out of formation here, because they expect Unity to still be camping. But give Unity their due. They are being aggressive now, super aggressive. They move across the open field.
Yeah.
No one is spotted from either team, though. Neither team knows of what the other one's doing.
And that's the way, and even if they go through the base, they get not spotted, so they can move into the base and covering for a good cap here, and that will be really hard for a breakthrough for Na'Vi.
And there we go, Rhino's been spotted, but he looks in a very standard position.
He's in the base.
Oh, this is a trap. This is such a trap. And Killeroid is actually, wait a minute, they might have called it. Killeroid is looking left. I think he knows that something is up.
Yeah, maybe he's just preparing for the usual stuff. They want to be sure that nothing can happen. But yeah, T8 is pushing forward on the 1 line, and the T1 as well, then spot nothing. So they are really out of position. If Unity takes the advantage now and go in, cross over to the cab and just block the defensive line here, Na'Vi, I think there's no way Na'Vi can break through.
Yeah, Killeroid, although he could get 2 shots off, he'll be overwhelmed very quickly, even with the drop on him. His best bet is to fire once and back into cover, because otherwise, even with his autoloader, he's going to die too quickly.
But Unity have to show some balls now. They have to move in if they want to win this.
They've got to do this quickly, because the T1 here from Eclipse is going to come back, and he's going to stumble into this big plan. But Na'Vi smells something is up, and they are moving back. They've only seen that one.
There's a push.
But here comes the push as we almost go on.
But Navi's already in position with 3 tanks. It waited a
There we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 shots come out, and Kilroy bounces a shot and receives 1. So this is a great move so far for Navi as they mostly deflect the initial damage of red. But they are in the cap circle, but Eclipse is behind them and is able to probably kill Balkan if he's lucky. Inspire a great shot from the Antelich, and now Navi are going to be moving around the back as we see Lashar is going to be coming around the back as quickly as possible. Tichny is low on HP, but it's 30 seconds left on the cap. They only have 2 in there, and Eclipse goes down after spotting them.
Diodor is not going for Lashar.
And Diodor blocks Lashar coming in, and his Amarak gets hit, and he bounces his shot on Diodor. This is terrible news for Navi.
Yeah, Lashar, if he goes down without resetting one time, there will be in a huge of trouble.
Another blow-up! Antelich, but Lashar destroys from an ammo rack hit, but the cap is now in danger as Navi's 350-100s are moving in, and they do destroy Artichny, they do reset the cap, and they add their own cap pressure on. Lucic now having to fight against striking Killeroid. Diodor's out of ammo, so Killeroid is able to be safe, and he's moving on to try and protect his cap as well. Inspire is the only threat for him now, so Lucic is going to try and kill him. There he goes. 10 seconds now for the rest of them to get out.
Diodor able to reset the cap. I mean, that will be for sure a draw if he is able to kill the T1 or reset them one time in the base and then run away. They got the T1 as well, which can go
Power Slide will get the
3.
first shot off. Diodor probably will be reloaded, but the first shot goes off. Power Slide can just sit still now and win the firefight. What a track! And he uses a repair kit. He's trying to protect the Dulux in the T1,
7,
but he's on reload. He only had 2 shots.
4, 3, 2. There's a reload timer. Whoa, just 2 seconds before they turned off. And now they have to
there
kill
comes Killeroy. Killeroy gets the shot. Second shot. One more. But Lucic is still alive. What a combination protection from the cap circle there by Unity. But was that draw? Oh my god! I didn't pay attention to the timer. Draw. Unity had it in the bag. But great reset there.
Wow. Yeah. 2 seconds left on the clock and the reload of 51. What a timing, huh?
Yeah, what a timing.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Wow, I didn't pay attention to the big clock in the middle.
Purpose, I think.
Oh,
I mean, he empties his last clip and then, okay, I got 2 seconds before
the
cap is over.
Navi that was a winning draw for Navi, so...
Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah. I mean, Unity had the better plan and the better action. The way they went through the cap was a nice plan, but they struggled a bit because they waiting too long.
They waited
just 30 seconds. 30 seconds earlier, Navi was totally out of position.
Yeah, totally out of position. They could have gone through, no problem at all. It would have been much better for them. But both the T1s, Eclipse and Cap at the end there, really just saved the day for both teams.
The biggest problem was really the crossover from, I think it was Anatolich who get 3 or 4 hits immediately in the side in side 3. He was down to 300 hit points while crossing. And yeah, without 3 tanks from Navi staying there, he would cross over with full hit points and can wait in the base.
Yeah, it would have been fine. Do you know what? I don't understand how I do not see this massive red. The font couldn't be bigger than this on the screen. Still, I'm so engrossed in the action, I just don't see it. Totally blinded. But anyway, there's the damage. Lucic is the top damage dealer because that was because no, he didn't kill Lashar. That was Diodor. As Diodor gets 1,805, but Lucic amazingly carrying his team there. The difference between the top 2, Lucic and Diodor, is actually really big. As Antelich is the nearest one at 1,000 damage. But Navi, apart from Lashar, who didn't do much, to be fair, the rest of his team did well over 1,400 damage.
The problem was really the IS3s of Unity. They get immediately focused out. Tichny, while he was crossing over, immediately dropped down to 400 hit points, so he was basically a one-shot. And Rhino also couldn't do that much. I mean, 12 shots fired, but that's, I bet, all blind shots.
Yeah, mostly blind shots. As I said, you can't really count the IS3's hit ratio. It's counted them in the action. Lashar bounced his shot, hit 1, and then died from an Amarak hit. That means he was hitting the Amarak 3 times.
Yeah.
He got hit in it, he repaired it, he got hit in it again, and then the next shot killed him. Diodor's perfect aiming there.
Yeah, 3 shots all times an Amarak hit. Yeah. Next map will be Cliff. That will be really interesting.
Cliff. So Navi wanted to be 2-0 by this point, I'm sure. They deserved to be. It was a winning draw. We like to note the draws because we know that there are a lot of draws, but we want to make sure that things are fine. I'm just receiving messages here and I'm like, I'll just go deal with that right now. No. Wait. So, yeah, we like to actually keep tabs of the winning and losing draws because we think it sets the tone of the rest of the tournament. And it can actually affect your mental ability to think when you get frustrated after 4 draws of almost winning every one, then lose the 5th one because you're frustrated. Unity had that against Navi. Actually, they were winning most of the draws. Yeah. Navi basically looked like they lost every match.
Season 2 finals,
No, this final yesterday. Day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Day 2, Unity, every draw against... It wasn't
They didn't play against Navi.
It was against... Who was it against? A-Gaming.
A-Gaming, yeah.
So A-Gaming were incredibly frustrated. By the 5th game, they'd won all the draws. Like, if there was another minute on the clock, it would have been A-Gaming's, all 4 of them. And then the 5th one happened,
and Navi
wins.
Minsk, yeah.
And it was like... You feel sorry for A-Gaming in those situations.
Yeah, it was Navi against A-Gaming, 4 draws in a row, and then on Mainz. Really sad for A-Gaming. It was so close, at least on 2 or 3 of the maps.
Have these guys ever played on Cliff before? I'm sure they have. Unity and Navi have been playing for years. So what's going
offline,
on?
in the Season 2 finals.
And what happened there?
Yeah. Expected 3-0 or 3-0 for Navi.
So we have back then they were using objects, so maybe we'll see some objects here on the open field, and we know Navi are very this map allows flexible plays. We know that Navi are very flexible in their own right, but the referee is now talking or discussing things, so we assume there is not much left to go. They just have to ready up. So let's have a look at some tweets here. We have
here you can see the crowd. I mean,
Bahatimo saying
there's a front seat, so if you want to join, there's 1 free for you.
And 1 or 2 there, somewhere sporadically there's a couple. Says that Navi versus Unity already looking like an exciting match. Hopefully no more draws. So we see that there was 1, but it was not a bad draw. I mean, the first half of the map was a little bit slow as both teams. Navi really were being very defensive. Unity tried to fight in the open, then Navi turned around to fight Unity in the open, but then Unity came around the back of them into the base. It was a bit of a switcheroo going on there.
Yeah, it was really well played, especially that in the heat of the fight with all combat tanks in the north area, 150 or 100, decided, okay, I have to go back to reset the cap, and also from Navi, one heavy tank was joining the cap with the T1 to make it even possible to cap in time. And perfectly reacted by both of the teams. Well played.
Well played.
That's really the top of the game.
The tweet of the day, we didn't actually say today what it was, but the tweet of the day won a talk. So it was about a talk and it won a talk. So
but not the modified one. No, not in the game. No.
You had to correct me. I said, the talk. It's a
talk
2. It's a talk 2.
He's a British one. He's the correct
talk
one.
Talk 2 star.
The talk 1 is the normal one, and talk 2 is the modified one from you.
I'm the talk 2 plus.
Plus.
Talk 2 star is the one in the game. The star is not as... It actually means, if you read the small description, not as good as Dorjan's talk. That's what it actually means. Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
You should read the game files.
We had to check it in-game now, if it's true.
Anyway. Right, so we are playing on Cliff next. Solo lineups we expect is anything goes. We've seen anything from 5 1390s to 1 Pershing to 2 Pershings to 2 T69s. In fact, Navi have always gone for 3 1390s and 2 T69s, I believe. They've gone for the gunslinger combination. It's worked out for them every single time, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. They played always with 2 69s. And Lechar is really... You can count on the position where he will pop up. It's every time the same. He will go around this middle area.
But the most impressive play on Cliff we saw was actually yesterday, where we saw Mine destroy ESC within seconds. Their plan was absolutely perfect in being able to take them apart. And they came up, round the back of them, ESC spawned on the south, which is usually considered by many the stronger position, and they set up on the hill like they normally do, and Mine just turn up behind them and go, hi, bam, 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 and just destroy ESC. It wasn't even close.
The sneaky 269s on the 1-2 line coming up, and then they're going around with the third...
Gunslingers came out with their 9 irons, I think it's called 9 irons, or the 4 loaders. The four loaders. I can't remember the name of the actual... gun is. I'm sure if an American is watching, he'd be like, ugh, how does he not know this? How does he not know? But I think they're called 9 irons. But for whatever reason, that sounds like a golf club.
Yeah.
So I think I've said something wrong here, and everyone's going to be laughing at me. But they came around the corner and just like... and then backed off again. And ESC was like, what happened?
139
is all bleeding and dying, and then ran over the hill because they panicked and just destroyed.
Exactly.
ESC wasn't even close.
Yeah, and there was a Pershing. They played with the Pershing as well. He was really defensive. I mean, this is the first time we saw a Pershing and 269. The Pershing was really defensive. Only a 1390 was aggressive on the lighthouse for spotting, but he was safe on this road up to the lighthouse. So there were no chance for them to fight back, and then the 69s had reloaded and finished the work.
Anyway, let's go into map number 3. It's Cliff in Navi versus Unity. Unity. It's 1-0 with a losing draw on Unity's side. Sorry, on Navi's side. So Navi are 1.5 ahead, I would say.
1.5, yeah.
Let's have a look at those tank lineups.
We got the Gunslingers, Anatolish and Diados, 339s, Artichny, Lucifer, Rhino, and 2T1 Spike and Cappy.
We have the mirror matchup, though, as Lashar and Power Slides in the Gunslingers for Navi, plus Inspiro, Killeroid and Strike in the 1390s. Don't forget Eclipse and Deluxe.
Yeah.
Right, let's see where they go.
Yeah, the question is, will be Red going for the 1-2 line, or are they heading with all 5 tanks for the top? But looks like that Unity is going with all combat tanks on the top, while Navi is going for the 1-2 line. So maybe Navi, watch
Navi is going the opposite ways, and they might do... Well, the thing is, I'm not sure if it works from this position, but they're going to try it anyway. And yes, I just remembered it is a 6-shooter. That's what it's a 6 ammo. It's not 4 ammo, isn't it? I was thinking, obviously, the T69 has 4. But the reason we call them the Gunsling is not because they obviously have the right amount of ammo. It's because of how quickly they fire them shots off. But yes, it's the 6-shooter I was thinking of, not 9 ammo. I have golf on there. I'm British, okay? I don't know guns. We don't have guns in Britain.
Yeah. They don't need the French, never attack back.
Anyway, apart from that embarrassment, Eclipse is going over to watch the backside and make sure that nothing is coming around the back of the cliff. This is always sensible, but it does weaken your assault down the 1-2 line, because it's a very common play from the north to send both your T1s down the 1-2 to break through and go for cap. Yeah,
but also a really defensive way Unity play the map now. They looks like they want to go around the lighthouse. Rhino and Anatolish are ready to do that. Diodor is a defensive position. 1390 is really in the back. It's Artichny in 1390 on top of the base hill, basically. So it's really a defensive split as well from Unity. And now Cappy is going for the front. I really think they learned from the lesson they had to learn on Ruinberg with the IS-3.
Yeah, and we see here that Navi are mostly set up over on the wall protect. Basically, they're doing what mine did, but in reverse, and it's not going to work out for them. There's nothing much they can do here, but they are going to have to rely on Eclipse spotting on the far side. I think he's out of render range as we... he's actually...
He was just shooting on Cappy without getting spotted, and Cappy was spotted, I think. So
there he is. He's actually down behind the mountainside. You can see he's hidden there really far in the west side. The east side. There's no really further south he can go, and he's protecting to make sure nothing comes over around the back of the cliff.
Yeah, but Rhino's not going for him. He's going forward. He didn't get threat, so you know that he wants alone. So I think he will go for the kill any second.
So anyway, we go. Lashar is here and moving himself around around the hill, around the cliff on the west cliff. There's 2 cliffs, one on the right, one on the left. So you have the west cliff. That's where Navi are mostly positioned. And Eclipse is in a lot of trouble now. He doesn't
Rhino
know
didn't figure out where's the position, so he turned away. And now there's the spot from Anatoly.
Oh, Anatoly missed one, but it doesn't matter. He's going to have to reload after this anyway.
He tracked him.
3 shells needed to kill him. That would have been beautiful if a bigger assault actually happened now, but no, it doesn't. And will Navi respond to this information?
Rhino's already in a spot that they know, okay, there's nothing in the base, nothing on the top. So Navi must be on the 1-2 line. And now it should be working if they set up a trap for Navi. I mean, the way up is really hard for Navi, and if you go to the lower part of the map, it's really hard to engage tanks on the high ground. So I actually think there's a good chance for Unity to take use of that.
And the tank for the voting today for this match between Navi and Unity is a T-34, the American Premium Tier 8. And that is because I actually tried to get one of the really special Su-85Is. 85 eyes.
Ah, yeah.
But they said that they're not available for public yet. So unfortunately, we have a second T-34, but it's still a great tank. We absolutely love that tank.
Yeah. And now, Rhino is going forward. Cappy is now in the position where the 3090 was before to get the vision. Anatolish is directly behind him. They're moving to the side. And we saw yesterday this amazing move, I think it was from A Gaming against EC, where they're going with the 3090 to the base on the south side and then shooting them in the back without getting spotted. Maybe we see something different, but there's also the T1 still spotting. I mean, Deluxe is in a super defensive position at K1. I never saw a T1 before on Cliff in that position, so defensive.
Yeah, I've never seen Navi do this before either. It's really weird how they do this. Like, sometimes they play Cliff, they just destroy. They go into the center and they destroy. Maybe after seeing the way mine destroyed ESC from the north, they were so worried that and they didn't know how to counter it, that they've decided to take the 1-2 away from the opponents.
Yeah, and looks like that, Unity is now moving closer and closer to the tanks from Unity. They're building like a fire line over the whole map. you can do a line from the A5 area down to the K5 area, and you hit all tanks from Unity, while all tanks from Navi are sitting in the EF2-3 area, really combined. So totally split from Unity against Death Ball again from Navi.
Yep, there's not much else to say. Navi are just sitting still, waiting for a move from Unity. It's pretty disappointing, really.
Yeah. Only 5 minutes left in the game, or already 5 minutes into the game. There's not really a movement anymore. Maybe Unity have to drop down. There are blind shots coming out. Maybe they played again in the training before against Navi and they know the tactics, so they're doing the blind shots here from Rhino, but they don't hit the looks.
Well, we're
so
going to
far.
see Navi's position from an assaulting position. If you come around this hill here and you are ready to attack, you've got Killeroid is going to spot you up there, and he's going to shoot you. If he doesn't reveal himself early, you can come all the way around here, and you're like, okay, oh no, we have gunslingers against us, bang, 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 and let's retreat. Oh no, we got Killeroid against us, bang, bang, bang. Oh, then you're like, oh no, who do I shoot? If you come around the other side, you will have the exact same situation happening, where you get Powerslide and Lashar shooting at you, and again, over the top, Killeroid. Less effective, because obviously there's no fire from the other side happening, but still, two gunslingers, the gunslinger, and the AMX 1390, that's it.
That's true, and I think it's really hard to engage in this defensive position. Navi playing that so well there, and you're right. I mean, the first tank who pop up will immediately destroyed by the 269. They're shooting so fast that if a 1390 turn into the fire angle of these two tanks, he basically explode like an IS-3 on Runeberg if he don't take care of himself. So I'm really. I don't know how Unity want to break through, but if a team can break through the defensive line of Navi, then it must be Unity. I mean,
I don't know what's. There's some wide shots going out. Killeroid they're trying to find if Killeroid is up here. They're actually taking some blind shots, but they are spreading out as well now. And we see that Unity have controlled half the map, and Navi are just in a block of 4, well, maybe 6 if you want to count this. They are controlling this area, and that's it. The rest of the control is totally on Unity side.
Yeah, and also really, if you go for the cap, the T1 will spot you, and the 1390 from Killeroid is in a perfect position, and Leshar and Powerslide only have to move a few meters to also shoot from the high ground on the hillside down to the base. So there's also absolutely no way to start the cap. So they have to engage the tanks from Navi, but the question is from where?
And if. The question is if they actually want to do this or not.
I think the best way to break through the defense line would be maybe from the north. D1, D2 just going around, kill 13090, backing off while the 69s are relocating, and then going around and finish off.
Yeah, I really wish this was in the Asian League right now, because this situation does not happen.
Yeah. Especially not on Cliff. I mean, we saw battles
on
Cliff yesterday. 1 minute 54 seconds, Cliff match done.
Yeah, they actually go into the action, and if they, I don't know, I've just never witnessed them setting back. Look, no, I'm obviously talking about the top teams. I'm not talking about the average team there. Yeah. There's still obviously these teams that will sit back and not do much for the entire match.
Balkan is now dropping down with Kapi, so maybe the two T1s are going forward. That Rhino's aiming, and behind the 69 and the Lucifer in the 3090 as well. So it looks like Red is trying to do something here.
Yeah, Unity are, but they're going to have to deal with Strike if they come forward, as we can see that Strike is actually hiding really far into the in the back of the base there.
But yeah, the T1s, I mean, the looks can, I think, kill Kapi without any problem. 7 hit points, and maybe a Balkan as well, before he can get killed off. And he got a lot of bushes in front, so maybe he didn't even get spotted for that. And yeah, Powerslide also can shoot from the top. I mean, there's a perfect position then for Unity to go for that.
And we will see something happen very shortly. As you can see that Strike reveals himself against Balkan, who is going for the cap. He's going 2 shots so far, didn't connect, but Rhino's going to go and attack him. Will he be able to take him out before anything happens? But there he goes. The T1 is taken out, but it might be too little too late, as the action is going down now in the corner. He doesn't have the shells, so Strike will go down to Rhino. He will not be able to kill him. Oh, unless he burns! Unless he burns with the last shot, but no, he doesn't. Strike's now going to die to Rhino.
There's the first kill, and 2 tanks are in the cap area already, but one will soon also run. And on the other side we got the battle ongoing. Lucic is here waiting
for
with
Lashar.
Dioda.
But he has Dido backing him up. But on the other side, we have Inspira taking a lot of damage, and Lashar needs to turn up any second now to save Inspira's life. But instead, Dulux saves him. But behind Lashar is Antelich. Antelich is burning though, burning really hard from Power Slide's last shot. He will survive it, but it's very, very hard on the damage.
But no, Diodor will be reloaded before Lashar, so Lashar have to drop down. I think he will follow him up and just
Inspire though is trying to protect him, but Inspire has missed 2 shots in a row. And 3 shots doing 0 damage. Inspire has not been able to carry any shot. 4 shots, no damage. That's terrible play by Inspire.
Exactly, and only 10 seconds left on the clock. That will be another draw. No chance to kill all hit points and all tanks here.
No.
I mean, if Unity had attacked earlier, maybe they could do it. I mean, Diodor killed Lashar now. He can go for the real 1,000 hit points left. Yeah, Inspire down to 47.
Yeah, it was a draw. Full-on draw. No team had the advantage there. Neither team attacked there. I mean, Unity were making a play for the cap circle at the end. I think that Na'Vi had no intentions there.
No, they don't want it to play.
So that's a winning draw, I think, for Unity. So 2 winning draws, 1 for Unity, 1 for Na'Vi. And Na'Vi actually has 1 decisive victory. So currently a little bit of an advantage there for Na'Vi.
Yeah, Minsk can be the last map. If Unity lose and Na'Vi win the round, it will be a 2-0 victory here. We don't have to play the last map, Ensk. And I think on Minsk we will see a result. I can't believe that they draw it out or wait that long.
They can try. I mean, teams here so far this weekend have been trying to draw Minsk. At least there has been quite a bit of waiting around on it. But we do have Minsk coming up next. It is a more aggressive map. It is more open. And we shouldn't see Insk unless Unity can pull a victory away from Na'Vi. So we will see. We will see. Simple as that. I see your scarf. Is it fully signed?
Yeah, sure. It's fully signed from all players. It's from the Moscow event. All players signed it from me with nice greetings to me and hello from Russia to Germany and
Oh, very sweet. And this is the proper cloth one. If you get the season 2 finals, there's a cloth scarf. It's actually knitted well. The new scarves that they've printed is more nylon based, I believe.
All players signed here. I think you can read it as well from Leshar. We got here then. Eclipse, Sign It 21, Kilroyd, and here down, I think it's Inspira, yes.
Inspira at the bottom, So you've got the proper scarf sign, so it's
from
a relic
Russia
of age
with
now.
love from Deluxe.
It's a really relic of the second season, because the new ones are nylon based. They're shiny and they're not as nice as the warm, well, cotton based, I guess. I don't know.
It will be synthetic,
but
cotton,
still,
whatever. But much
still
better than
as synthetic. But still, if you come to events, you will be able to pick up swag like this, and we are allowed to tell you that the host of the grand finals will be Warsaw in Poland.
In the beginning of April.
If you live in Poland, you will be able to go to the grand finals much easier. We don't know exactly when it is, but it's in the beginning of April.
In the beginning, so it must be
in about a month.
Week.
Yeah, in about a month to 2 months. So if you can get to Poland quite easily, save your money and get that ticket, and I will see you there, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping you'll be there too.
I hope that as well. Maybe.
Right, where did my pin go? Asked Hendrik. I don't know. I'm terrible for losing these things. I've actually had 2. Season 1 and Season 2 I was given 1. And both times...
You got them both?
I lost them both. I know what happened to the Season 1. We got into the taxi to go between the venue and the home.
He paid the taxi driver with that.
I did not. And the back of the pin fell out and it fell to the floor and it was too dark to find it and we were in a bit of a rush and no one speaks English and I was like, my pin's falling out. They're like, what? Just get out of the taxi. And I was like, oh, okay.
Get out. I don't want you anymore.
And I left. No, they were getting out with me. They were like, why aren't you coming out? And I was like, I'm looking for the... No, never mind. So I lost a pin there. And then the second season, I have no idea. I think I've put it somewhere safe. So it's probably in
too
England.
Safe.
It's probably in England somewhere. Or one of my
safe.
boxes when I moved.
Can't find it.
I don't know, but that's where it is. So, come to the grand finals in Warsaw if you want some swag or if you want to meet me in person or MaGGus, hopefully. Yeah, we got also something for the final. I bring it with me from Cologne. I got it here. Yes.
A mouse pad. I think it's from the Gamescom this year and a mini tank. We will add that to the final.
Which mini tank is this? It's the Tiger 2.
It's a Tiger 2. It's a German tank. It was in German, the event. What do you think?
Can you see it? I wonder if you can see it. You can see it. There we go.
Yeah, and this mouse pad.
So how are we going to give those away? Well, have you actually discussed this with the moderators? Because they're going to be angry at you right now.
Yeah, we can just add it to the golden tank maybe. Or maybe to the second one who bet on the right for the winners final.
Okay, so
We will figure that out in the break.
We'll figure that out on the break. But how do you, let's ask you, the crowd, for the suggestions.
Yeah,
what do you
maybe you
think?
have a good idea.
Maybe you have a good idea of what you should do to win this tank. Now, I think we're going to have some biased comments as people are going to be saying like, "Hey, this is what I'm good at drawing. So there should be a drawing competition." Another guy said it's a poetry competition. Another guy's it's a pun competition for the next Mind versus someone. What can you really pun with Navi and Unity? I guess you can with Unity, but not really Navi.
No.
So unless it's Unity versus Mind, it's
Play
going to
as
be
a
really
Unity
hard
to
to beat
beat them in the Mind games. I don't know. You are better than that. Tell us your opinion. Also tell us where you're from. If you're from Asia, if you're from Korea, if you're from Europe.
Yeah,
if you're
definitely.
from Cologne,
I think
Germany.
we have a lot of Koreans. I saw when we first started, we saw that we saw a lot of Korean text in the chat. So welcome to the
Russia.
Now that's a phrase as someone that's with our trips here. We went to Moscow, and it was a case of things work a bit differently here. If you've never been to this side of the world, things are slightly different to Europe. So basically, when anything happened that we just didn't understand or didn't have any control over, it was relax. Welcome to Russia.
Yeah, that's true.
And Navi having their briefing there and ready to go here on Mines. The tank sections are going up. For Mines, we have seen anything from T-32s to
KV5s.
Pershings, KV5s. We've seen WWZs. Double WZs. Yeah.
And 330-90s with a small gun.
And we've seen 4 30-90s with small guns.
In the game was it 5? 2 for the one team and 3 for the other team.
5 with the 75mm instead of the 90mm.
Yep.
It's a new meta that I like the 75 gun. I really do. When I was playing the AMX 1375, I really enjoyed that reload time because you can fire your clip off and you're not really so worried. With the 90, if that guy crosses your path, you're not so sure if you take that snapshot because then you're on a 40-second reload and
That's
you're
true,
like...
You don't want to waste a single shell, so you have to really take care. And if you shoot 2 times, you basically have to reload because 4 are not enough to engage. And
it's why people used to love the T-71, although in this competition it's hard because the T-71 only has 810 hit points, so it's not as healthy as the 1390. So 1390 with basically the 71's gun, but it can't look up and down as well. So I kind of think if you're going for that, take the 71, but they want the hit points. So.
Also, if you go for the 71, you got you waste basically a tier point, but. Yeah, what you want to do as well. I mean, if you use the tier 7 tech instead of tier 8, you can use the tier 2, but make that really
sense.
And
it's 300 hit points down, so 290 hit points, and that's a big difference. So, and I think it's the main problem with the T71 is the lack of hit points because of the lack of tier.
Yeah.
If it was pushed to tier 10, tier 8, basically the same tank. But with more hit points, I think it would be taken.
Would be cool. Tier 8, 3000 hit points, and a 590 damage gun shooting every 3 seconds would be awesome. Or not? You don't?
Yeah, I mean, we got the T69, but it's slower. It's a med tank instead of a heavy. And the T71 would be an alternative to the 1390. The fact is that you would sacrifice a little bit of speed and penetration because you wouldn't have the 90mm. It would only be the 70. You would sacrifice that for a tank that is able to be hold down and a little bit better armored and that sort of thing. So I don't know. I think that would be a good tank.
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely a good tank, even as the only tier 7. And I think before the last change with the arties, so we're able to play tier 2 arties or tier 6 arties, often T71s get used, or maybe 2 of them.
Yeah, they were very common. If anyone is actually curious why am I even mentioning them, that's the reason. They were very common when the artillery was still viable, so people would take 2 or 1 T71s and T1s, promote their T1s into a Bison. Less visibility, but you can actually risk your 71 a bit more instead. And the Bison, though, was crazy.
Yeah, the Bison, the damage is really crazy, and also the view range of the Bison is better than of the T1. Artie's got the best view range.
Really?
Yeah.
That's strange.
That's strange, but it is true.
Okay. I guess it's because it's open top. It's open top.
Maybe,
so
yeah.
The commander can just get out with his binoculars and just... It must be the way.
Yeah, it
must be the way. They need to be able to see where they're throwing their shells, so they just get out their tank and have a look. It kind of feels like that sometimes.
Sometimes, actually.
It's very so short range for legitimate artillery in real life are firing kilometers away based on information from other people or aerial photography. In this game, not so much. It's very short range for artillery. So the way it lobs. Although, have you played the low tier British tanks with the howitzers? The shells, you can actually see them flying so slow through the sky. It's like...
You can set a little head on the shell, you mean, while she's flying.
Anyway, let's go into map number 4, which is Minsk. Navi versus Unity. 1-0, 2 draws. Let's see if this one. Let's go to the tank lineups and see what they've chosen. And I'm going to double check those gunslingers because every time I've been fooled.
Unity is playing 2 T-32s, Anatolich and Diador, 3 39s, Atishni, Lucifer, Rhino, 2 T1s, Spiking, Cappy.
And we do have Power Slide and Lafshar in the gunslingers. We have the MX-1390 ×2 with Striker and Spira, and 32 for Killeroid. That's actually a very heavy lineup for Navi.
Yeah, and it will be interesting if the 1390 is using the small gun and immediately going for the hill, or if Unity playing it more defensive like they played it before, with 1390s on H12 and defensive on the island, 1390s covering the mid area, and 1390 is going for the base and aiming. And they lost against Tau, if you remember that on the first day. So
yeah, but look at this. Red Unity are obviously saying, like, okay, we can't win the hill there. 2 1390s, it's just too much to win the hill early on. But wait a minute, will someone even try and take out Cap? Inspire's got the shot, but he decides to move, and Lafshar fires his first shell, not hitting the Antilich. Taking some risky maneuvers here, Navi, and not paying off so far.
No, and yeah, they got T-32 now defensive, also bulking for the passive spot, but they got also Diador in the T-32 and Atishni in the 1390 in the base. So totally map control for Navi now. They can control the hill, and trying to do some snapshots.
But now Killeroid is here in the T-32, and he's coming over to see if he can challenge Antilich to the position. But they don't know that the far side is taken there by Lucic, and he does fire, but does not connect with anyone.
No, and yeah, I don't see also now the point from Unity how they want to be aggressive
Inspire. This corner is so deathly. Everybody has either taken damage or lost their tracks. There's one person who didn't do that. But we've had one death, one 250 hit point loss, and now we've had Inspire lose his tracks going down. So that corner is so hard to take.
So tricky, yeah. It's a contest for all players. You have to do it once with your 3090 to prove your skills.
That's it. If you can't take that corner on 3090 at speed without taking damage, you're not allowed to join the team.
Must be something like that. Oh, Cappy is shot before droning. No, he can't shoot. He's below the water here. Moving forward really slowly in his T1 to join Rhino on the island. So there's some kind of aggression. Is it only T1 or 3090 from Navi on the island?
Well, wait a minute, some shots are coming in, but they're bouncing away. Nothing's actually connected, but look at Eclipse. He's actually lost some HP over here, and I'm thinking he had a small firefight with someone. But
with someone, yeah, that's true.
But he could have fallen off a cliff or been hit by a teammate, because that's very little damage, and so it would have to be very long-range shots.
Or blind shots from the T1 maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure. We didn't see
Deluxe spotted Rhino. Rhino spotted Deluxe on the island, so it will be interesting. If there's two 3090s behind Deluxe there, they could go for Rhino immediately without any chance for Rhino to back off.
But the push here from Navi is actually coming. They're being quite aggressive. Powerslide bounces a shot from Lucic. Navi
Striker is spotted on the other side from Rhino.
Very lucky.
So there's one 3090, and now I think he has to run, otherwise Rhino's in a huge trouble. Is Striker and the other 3090 going for the push against him. But looks like Navi's also too scared to engage Rhino here. Maybe they're expecting the second 3090 directly next to him without.
They probably do expect some sort of backup, and he's right. They're right. So their sixth sense is definitely better than the game sixth sense.
That's true. In the mid area, only 0 damage done so far. Killeroid and Power Slide, also Leshard trying to hit Anatolish, but absolutely no damage deal so far.
No, none. Apart from Eclipse somehow losing a little bit of HP there. It does seem that way.
Yeah. Interesting how the teams want to
go
there's
out the first shot. Powerslay gets run through an Antilich, then immediately reloads. Unity aren't going to take advantage of the situation. But, bounce from Leshar.
Yeah, it was Rhino from the island doing a snapshot here on Leshar. But he has to take care as well of the 3090s in front of him. It will be really interesting. I still can't see how Unity want to engage. They got still a 1390 and the T32 in the base. They are 1-0 behind, and if they lose this round, it's over. If it's a draw, they got only the chance for the overtime and maybe the shootout. But yeah, Navi, they're in a good position. They can just hold the line.
And that is it. And that's the unfortunate situation, it seems, that all teams seem to want to take it down to the wire. They don't want to get an advantage. They want to play the maps. Unity would rather play yet another map than go out here. It seems really weird.
Diador is in a super defensive position, actually, in the base here on my screen. But if he moves over to the hill to attack or group up with Anatoly, he has to cross the open and he get fire from everywhere on the hill. It's just impossible for him to really go for an attack move without getting spotted or getting a lot of shells. So they put themselves already in a bad position. Also, Lucifer is down now to 770 hit points. Yeah, and Na'Vi is still on full hit points. Only Eclipse is missing the 21 hit points.
Who managed to connect that shot? I didn't see.
I also don't see it. I just noticed it in the background. It must be Power Slide or Leshar from the hill.
Yeah, these guys are... Oh, the Leshar gets the first hit now. At last, some movements is happening. He's pinging away, saying that shot came from F1. They've definitely pushed up now, so we've got to be careful. And that is Dulux's fault, who did not spot them moving up further.
Yeah.
And bad communication there for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake that they didn't check if the 3090 is still there. And there's another hit against Power Slide, so the hit point score is even, but Lucifer also dropped down
taking
to 400.
some damage. I'm not seeing who's seeing him. I guess it's blind shots against him.
Yeah, it's possible that he's just going for the bush, and then after he saw the traitor, immediately fire back or just doing blind shots in this area.
He's down to 440 just from blind shots. I have not seen him show up on the Na'Vi screen for ages.
Yeah, so now we know, okay, the shot's coming from... I mean, Leshar get hit once and bounce another one, and that couldn't be only from this position, so I think they're just blind shotting all the time with the T-32 this position.
Actually, the comments are saying, like, okay, so this is a draw situation. The 8-point rule plus encounter mode might be better. And we've thought about that no, the 8-point rule actually doesn't do anything. It's exactly the same situation, but the teams who deliberately wait till the last second and attack, try and kill one tank, then back off again, is actually really silly. So the 8-point rule actually encourages bad play. Basically... it's a different problem, but it's a very, very similar problem. It doesn't solve the problem.
No, it doesn't solve the problem at all. It's all about the teams. The teams have to decide, okay, we want to attack. And even if you do an 8-point rule or a 16-point rule, sure, it changes in kind of things, but also you got some other negative side effects. So if you kill one tank, you're just going for turtle, and the other team have to attack with 4 tanks. You don't try to finish the game off. So I think if you have to finish all tanks, we see more action because you have to fight on all costs.
Yep. Encounter mode is also a weird one because it actually sounds on paper that, you've got to go to the same place and it's going to be a big clash, but the big teams know where you're going, to the cap circle. So they just camp the cap circle instead. I think it might be a bit more dynamic if the maps are correctly designed, because if you make the teams clash before getting to the cap circle, but then it will mean that no team wants to go for it, and if you go for it, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about what you want, it's still the same. If the teams want to play defensive and want to camp, there is an option to do it.
Yeah.
You can make it maybe a bit more even to engage, but if you have to drive through the open to a cap, the defensive team got the advantage.
Parasite's got to be careful. Diodor will have a shot on him if he's just even a meter out of place. The only thing I think could change is just lower the timer. Instead of 10 minutes, even lower, because it seems like there always is action at the 2 minutes marks, and sometimes you need the time for big maneuvers, for some of the bigger maps.
Yeah.
But
go down to 7 minutes would be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be less of this time where you're thinking, you know, they haven't been doing much, and and plus, even if you have to replay it because you ran out of time, there'll be more action, and I don't know. There's several problems that need to be addressed.
Exactly, and also one thing of the encounter mode is that T1s are basically useless in an encounter mode. You don't need the spotting because you know where the cap is. You don't have to figure out where's the team because you know where the team have to go. So yeah, they can't really get used. So I think then you have to change the format as well to 5-on-5 instead of 7-on-7, and then you have a complete new game. And
actually, the Asian scene, as someone says that the Asian scene has 8-point rule, they have good matches. Doesn't mean that's a false way of doing science, isn't it? Where you can correlate two things that are actually unrelated. It's the attitude of the best teams in Asia that are making the scene very good. And just like Fnatic in North America, they play super aggressive, although suicidally so. It does make entertaining games, but we might be seeing the clash now with 1 minute left. Leshar, Dido takes the damage.
Yeah, the T-32
and Killer also
and
takes
3090, the second 3090 T-32 group up now with him, but there's a hit on Anatoly. He's down to 1,000 hit points. Dido is also 1,200, and there's no way.
Yes, another shit from Leshar. Bulkin, though, engages Eclipse and does take him down. Killeroid getting another shell into him, but Dido also takes some damage, and now Leshar is in trouble, but Strike is there on the hill, ready to take the damage. But here we go. Rhino's... Oh, great Alpha Strike against Artichny. He goes down. Rhino... Oh, yeah, there's Inspire on the other side. Is focused down Rhino. now Rhino's burning a little bit. He has a fire kit. There he goes, one ricochet, but that might not be enough. Na'Vi actually might have done this if their T1s won their firefight, because they actually are all destroyed. Cap is the only guy left, but Dulux is looking bad, and Eclipse lost his fight. So it looks like that they actually could cost them the game.
The question is if the tanks can hide. I mean, we got Kapi here against Deluxe. We got a 1390 in the base and Bulkin on the other side, and they also only have to wait 19 seconds more. Navi splitting out for all areas, but I think they will not be able to kill Lusik in the next 10 seconds.
13 seconds. This is why they left it so late, to make sure that this couldn't happen. But there he goes. Parasite comes around the corner and does finish down Cap. And on the other side of the field, we do see that the T1 is going to be killed from Strike.
Lusik really risky that he tried to kill a tank. You get one shot, but I mean, they risk a blow up or a burning or whatever. So really risky move in the end, but still, I mean, waiting for the last minute is no sense. So you can't win it. I mean,
no sense at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense why you would possibly wait for so late in the game before doing anything.
Yeah.
And it seems like both the teams, not every team here is doing it. They're waiting till 1 minute 30 or something like that to attack, just so this situation happens. If you lose the engagement, it becomes a draw.
Exactly.
I kind of feel that if you had the 8-point rule there, then at least you would have a victory, but it would be cheesy, and they would kill one tank and back off. The tactics would be different.
I would say if you got the 8-point rule, the teams would not engage in the end. It would just stay more defensive.
Of course they would. They would stay even more defensive.
Exactly.
Because
they want to risk it.
So it will be a 10-minute wait with no action at the end. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because last thing you want is to lose a tank and be out of it. The amount of times that happened in the Golden League Season 2 final or something like that, where someone died and then that was it, they backed off, they killed one person, then camped, and then it was like, okay, with 4 guys, you've now got to come and attack 5 guys. Yeah. It's really unfair.
I think the only thing what maybe could help in that case is an admin decision. So the referee say, okay, this team played more active, this team played more passive, so this round goes to the more active team.
Yeah, but then there's ambiguity on the referee's point of view, and it can easily add up for biasm and
but
stuff
you
like
got
that.
it in a lot of sports. I mean, in judo, for example, the referees also do it like that. If there's no clear move or clear action or throw in the amount of time, they decide, okay, this part was more active, you get a penalty, like one bonus round.
Oh, okay.
And
so that can happen. I even remember that some sports, and a lot of people say, like, oh, this never happens in football. That's because they get fined if it happens.
Yeah.
If your keeper holds the ball for more than 15 seconds, whatever it is, then he gets a yellow card, he can be sent off. If you keep the ball in your half of the field for more than 30 seconds or something like
basketball or something like that.
No, even football, you have to get the ball out of your defensive zone as quickly as you can into the opponent's side. So long as it's in their side of the field, it's okay, because it's up to that team to be. So there's rules in place to counter camping in every sport.
Defensive play style, I think maybe we should implement something like a jury with 3 referees who decide which team played more aggressive.
There's no reason why not.
Yeah.
If it's in sport, then there should be a thing. In fact, I've had this idea. I've had this idea to fix this. That you actually have a mod that designates the territory owned, and it shows you the positions of your tanks. And if that isn't constantly shifting, then you're considered camping. You get like a 1-minute warning.
Yeah.
And if you continue doing that, then your team is considered camping. Yeah. Now that prevents one, because the biggest difficulty is if you penalise one team for camping and then they be aggressive and the other team just wait for them because they know that they have to be aggressive, then the team that sits back and waits will have the advantage.
Played more aggressive in the beginning, so they counter each other in the beginning. If they're both aggressive, to don't get this warning. I mean, sure, in the first time, maybe in the first 10-15 games for every team, they have to try out how it's working, but in the end, both teams have to play aggressive.
Okay.
I mean, if you get a penalty, you had camped.
Maybe we should do the yellow card thing. So if teams are camping and doing what we just saw there, that they're not doing anything for 4 minutes or something, then they get yellow cards. And if they get a red card, then they both lose a map, or one team loses a map or something like that, or even just get disqualified and
exactly,
or fine or something.
Get neutral pro players or referees who are able to can read the tactics and the maps and know if a team was camping or playing aggressive.
Yeah, what do you guys think in the audience? What's your solution to this problem? I don't think there's any more in-game rules we can change. This is the mentality of the players that needs to change.
So you need a referee because you have to decide in every kind on a special situation. It's not every time the same. Sometimes the team playing defensive, but they're still trying to move or doing something. And if you got something like you pointed out with territory owned, it can be still a movement all the time, but in the same territory.
And not only that, you can even see that at the end, if you wanted to do that, you can have territory owned. And you can say, like, okay, this team owned 90% of the map, couldn't attack you, but because they own 90% of the map, they get the map.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you need referees, humans, to just check out and decide in every situation.
The trouble with the territory one is again, map design. Some maps favor one side with more territory than the other, just by nature. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It adds uniqueness and interestingness to the maps, and that's cool. But with the defensive play, it can look bad for one team, even though both teams are being defensive. It can look worse for one team than the other. So that would be a problem there. However, I totally agree with you. I think we should go for more the traditional sports style of ruling, saying like, okay, if you sit back in your own half of the field, like in football, or even I think even American football has these rules. I think we need to do this. We need to write down all the sports.
Oh, with rugby, you're not allowed to pass back. You have to pass forward all the time.
You always have to pass back.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you're not allowed to pass forward?
You can't forward it in rugby.
Yeah, I'm not really into rugby.
Yeah, you can only pass back. You can't throw it forward. It's to prevent the... you can't play defensive in rugby anyway, because if you play defensive and someone charges your line, they just have to get one good tackle and that's it, you've lost. So you can't play defensive. There probably is a thing, but because I wonder how rugby deals with that. I don't think it's one of these sports. I can't think of how you would possibly play defensive.
I think it's not really possible because you just
the way of the game.
Overwhelmed by the players that just run over you.
Yeah, they
tackle you,
and you can't tackle anyone who hasn't got the ball. So it's not like American football. You can block like that.
Yeah.
And so they can just run up and tackle the guy with the ball, and that's the end of that. There is one. I remember 3 or 4 seasons back in rugby, people were just kicking. So they'd kick up the field, and then when the defenders get flamed, they'd just kick up the field, and it's just kicking.
Next one.
And people were like, wait a minute, what is going on? And this was actually England's fault. During the World Cup, I can't remember what it's called for rugby, the World
Championship, whatever.
Something. England won using Johnny Wilkinson, and he was the big kicker, but there he switched the play style of the English field to kicking, and because they won, all the teams looked at like how did they win, and looked at must be the kicking, and so all teams started switching to a kick strategy, and then it's a meta game. But again, this happens in all sports where it's actually the mentality of the teams and players that cause the drow play. It causes the slow play. It's not necessarily the game itself or the rules. Look at other computer games, esports. There are big names out there that if you watch them, I guess I don't want to name any names, but the 2 other biggest esports out there suffer from draws all the time, and not literal draws because there's always the big engagement, but let's say 60 minutes with nothing happening.
Exactly.
It's actually never get that. You never get 60 minutes, you get 10 minutes, but it feels the same. And with the other games, it's less of a problem because it's like a big story developing, and eventually you will get a winner. There has to be a winner. It's almost guaranteed, but sometimes it could be 2 hours long. The games could hit an hour and a half, and it's ridiculously long. And another game, an RTS game, they can just sit back and build up a big force for 30 minutes and then have one battle. Yay.
That's true.
So it's a problem across all sports, electronic or traditional. It's not unique to World of Tanks.
Unique to World of Tanks, for sure not.
But we do need to fix it.
That's true, and we're working on it. I mean, we are relatively new to esports with World of Tanks.
Yes, it's still very new. It's about a year and a bit. Yeah.
2000 as the first tries with small tournaments. So.
Elf. I like the way you actually switched into German there for a second.
Yeah?
11 is English, not elf.
11. Oh, sorry.
Elf
yeah.
Wolf.
Sorry for that. Yeah. 2011.
Yeah, I like that. The switch into German is
sometimes.
I picked up on it though. I was like, 2000 elf.
Yeah, but 11. You understand me. Yeah,
I did understand you.
This
is the international stream. We are sensitive to languages, and we are aware that there are many out there.
Yeah, next map, by the way, the 5th map, hopefully not the last map, because I want to see basically more and more action from these teams, will be Minsk. And in Minsk, traditional draw map, especially for Na'Vi, because Na'Vi is not that strong. We pointed it out several times. Na'Vi's weakest map is Minsk.
But yeah, they may be the weakest map, but at this point they are one map up, so it's all about Unity. Exactly. And Unity haven't necessarily been the most aggressive team, but they're going to have to pull something out. Can they do an ESC? I'm not sure. I think ESC are much better attackers than Unity. Unity are a bit more balanced team, much better in defense, but ESC are much stronger. But let's find out in game number 5 on Minsk. Na'Vi versus Unity. Let's see some action. 1-0. Let's see those tanks.
We got Atishnin 5100 and natürlich Dire Lucifer and the Rhino in IS3. So we got 4 IS3 for Red Rush Unity, 2T1 Sparkin and Kapi.
3 5100s, 2 IS3s, very standard lineup from Unity. Sorry, from Unity. Navi. So 4 IS3s. Is this deliberately to break this? To do the assault? 4 IS3s is a very aggressive lineup, of course. So.
I think 4 I3s could work out against the 5100s on Ensk because of the alpha damage. And in Ensk is typical, you go forward, try to land a shell going back, this Pukabi style, and that could really work out for them against the 5100s from from Navi, sorry. And
I'm watching out the opening. Sorry, I was thinking about what they're actually doing here, and we see that Navi are splitting off to the center, middle, and wait a minute, we already see some action as Artichny dodges shots from Lashat and Strike.
Yeah, not Eclipse spotted them, but they're pushing in with the IS3s on the other side. That will be immediately
wait a minute, this action is coming in as Dardo and Rhino come in the back door. They are coming in and Spyro's waiting for him, but he's on his own and he's going to get taken out very quickly here as Rhino, Dardo, Antelis, Lusika are all here. Dulux is in the back where here's nothing he can do. Inspire is going to go down in the next shot, but it looks like Strike has loaded and here comes Killeroid as they do the damage as Dardo is protecting Rhino and so is Antelis, but Dardo now is in trouble. There goes Rhino. Lusik's in trouble. Lashanis needs one more shot on him, but he decides instead to hit the Antelich. Parasite finishes them off. This is destruction. Navi completely destroyed Unity, but now the 5100s are on reload, so it's all about the IS3s. However, Artichny is late to the party here, doing some damage to Lashat.
I think one key here was the miscommunication of Unity. Unity was with 4 IS3s around the IS3 from Navi, and 3 of them shot at the same time to kill the last 200 hit points. What a miscommunication. One shell and 800 damage to another tank would be more important for this, because then the 5100 who joined from the side would be dead.
This fight between Lashat and Antelich is happening,
Artichny.
and Antelich needs to now deal with this, but Lashat doesn't get the hill. He doesn't get the kill. He could go down, but Strike comes in for the ram, and there he goes.
And Artichny, I mean, he burned 2 times, repaired everything, Amorek, fuel tank, radio, engine, everything was broken down. He's down to 500 hit points.
And Dulux hits him again. Is he going to burn? No, he's not. Dulux is chasing him down, going, I may be a T1, but you should be scared. And he comes around
there's
with
a second T1 Eclipse.
He's trying to pin it. These 2 T1s are bullying Artichny, but here comes Killeroid doing the damage, and there it is. GG, 2-0 for Navi. Unity are going back to the losers bracket. I should say down to the losers bracket, and they will go against Mind. Have they faced Mind yet?
No. They played Sapphire against Tower in the ESC gaming.
So, we will find out after the break, which will be around 20 minutes, 30 minutes long, and we will then see if Mind can take down Unity to go to the grand finals, or if Unity can defend themselves and continue towards the grand finals. But we definitely will see Navi at Warsaw.